Hello, welcome to our devotional time here at Temple Baptist Church in Poplar, Bluff, Missouri. We're certainly honored to be with you again today. We are going to be in the book of Genesis, chapter 39. We're going to look at verse 2 only for our text today or for our reading, but you can read verses 1 through 6 if you so desired, and it's familiar to you. When you get there, you look at it and see what it is. It is familiar to you. It's the story of Joseph as a slave in Egypt. And so in verse 2 of chapter 39, the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a successful man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. Now, if you look back on Joseph's life, nothing really pleasant happened to him, did it? His brothers had sold him, and as a result of him being thrown into a foreign country, and he was enslaved, but yet God was with Joseph. And that made all the difference, didn't it? God sustained Joseph through all the trials and even able him to excel despite the challenges that was before him. He becomes the number 2 man, if you want to say that. I think maybe he's number 1 man. Pharaoh didn't really check much about what he was doing. He just pretty well do what he wanted to. But it's back to this reality now. Every one of us pass through times of pain and suffering. And for those who those who have trusted Christ as Savior, He has promised that He is with us, just like He was with Joseph. And so, the story of Joseph is the story of God's hands moving through the pain, the suffering of one man. And it's just one man here that we're talking about, but others also have suffered, haven't they? I would say some of us today think we have suffered, and we have some trials and tribulation and all of that, but God was there in the midst of all of that. And I think because of that truth, because of the truth that God is with us, I also know that God is with me to work through the difficult times in my life. We live in a sin-cursed world, so there's going to be difficult times in our life, and we have to resolve to that, but we need to look to God as He is with us. So, as God was with Joseph, He could be with me. He is, if we trusted Him as personal Savior, He is with you and I. He sustains us. He helps us. He empowers us. And He keeps us moving towards His will for our lives. His will for our lives is we trust Him, we follow Him, we obey Him. Contentment. And I don't know about contentment, but contentment on this earth can be an elusive dream. I'm not sure that we can be content while we're here on this earth, but I think the true act of contentment, true contentment, peace that will last, is to look and see God's presence in our life. This world really doesn't offer us a whole lot. It's not going to last, but what we have with God is going to last through eternity. When we open our lives to Him, God remains at work even in our lives, even when we can't seem to find Him. When we look through the eyes of faith and see that He is there. God is with us, no matter what we may be going through. All the things that Joseph went through, God was with him. Do you know that God today? Do you know Him as personal Savior? Do you trust Him to be with you in all the trials and tribulations of life? If not, please call out on Him. Call Him, ask Him to be your Savior and your Lord of your life. Thank you for being with us today. We invite you to be at our services here at Temple. We meet on Sunday mornings at 8 o'clock for our first service. Then we have Sunday school that begins at 9 o'clock, and then we have our second service at 10. And then Sunday night we have 6 o'clock worship, and Wednesday night we have Bible study and prayer meeting. God be with you. May God bless you is our prayer.